This alchemy, this harmony, yeah, is the key to the kingdom and queendom of heaven, earth.
Aloha, beautiful souls, kings and queens in this heaven on earth reality, this dream, this existence, these lives. Whew. I am presently by the ocean, and I felt inspired to do a solo podcast because I feel like it'd feel really good to flow where I'm at and what I'm learning and the inspiration that's flowing through to support my highest good, your highest good, and hopefully bring some liberation, some inspiration, some empowerment, and joy. Love, bliss. So yeah, the topic that I felt inspired to flow on today is cultivating spiritual confidence and trust, because I feel like they're connected. And to me, part of this is living in the flow of magic and faith and trust in something greater than just what we see with our physical senses, and engaging the majesty of what's possible when we believe in that. But on the other edge of that sword, the other, side of the spectrum, or the other part of the polarity, is the opposite of that. And that's where I think of things like gaslighting, or getting disappointed and giving up on our dreams or our heart or our love or the possibilities that we feel within ourselves. And truly, we are this divine essence that is limitless and endless. The possibilities are like, I can feel them, and they are so great. Yet on the human level, to actually allow that heaven to flow through this earth even more, sometimes it does require trusting the mystery and taking a step into the dark and choosing to have faith and love and belief in something beyond, even when there's human levels of fear, or human levels, there's so many levels of it. Or when old patterns emerge where it seems like, oh, okay, I could go that way again, things might go that way, but to instead choose to keep hands on the steering wheel with love, to be the master of our own fate, the captain of our own ships, the drivers here in the journeys of our lives. One of the ways that I find, for me, I'm finding very empowering, is to remember to have intention and remember that I have the power of choice. Every moment can be magical. It can be awesome. Like even the other day, I was at the grocery store, and I find grocery stores a little triggering and challenging just because there's just so many people, and I'm often trying to make very, very intuitive choices, because usually I'm just like, okay, I gotta like feel into what does my body need, what is my highest good, what is the right choice here. It's this kind of intuitive dance with things, which is sometimes hard when I'm interacting with all these different people, and so it's not always a pleasant experience, but it's something that I'm learning to shift and alchemize and evolve. And I remember I was in line, and I thought to myself, like, why don't I just like choose and intend and pray to have like a mind-blowingly awesome experience of checking out at the grocery store right now, instead of just being like miserable and having a bad moment. And so I set that intention, and I just kind of like, zoomed it out there, the energy, and then I ended up having that experience where I was, the woman was checking me out, or she was checking out my stuff, and I checked out her nails. I was like, whoa, I was like, oh my God, your nails, like they're so beautiful. And she's like, oh, thank you. And she like got all excited, and then she showed them to me on a deeper level. I was like, can I see? And then they were so beautiful. They were like black and purple, but it looked like these like starry cosmos, like magical shimmery designs. I was like, what? These are so beautiful. And it just opened up this conversation with the ladies there about like nails and beauty, and it just felt nice to like give love to this woman and just like brighten her day. And it also brightened my day to like celebrate beauty, and it created a beautiful moment where suddenly I was lit up, excited, felt beautiful, felt like I helped someone else feel beautiful and seen and appreciated, and It's cute too because there's another woman there, like an older woman, who was like, oh yeah, compared to my old scratchy ones, or she said something like that, and I was like, you know what, beautiful too, like just natural and authentic. And I don't know, it just felt good to brighten up and beautify the moment, and it worked. And yeah, so I feel like that, to me, I think it's coming through as a little story, because every moment, even something that we see as normally challenging or devastating or depressive or anxious or whatever, every moment gives us an opportunity to make a choice. We can choose love. We can choose with our intentions for it to be great. Like, why not? Like, it doesn't have to be all mundane and boring. It can actually be magical and miraculous. And that does require some presence and some intention, and then some trust and some flow, perhaps some patience, perhaps some persistence, but ultimately appreciation and enjoyment. And for me, I find the more that I'm cultivating these little moments of magic and little moments of intention and prayer and beauty and little miracles here and there, it's developing my sense of spiritual trust and confidence, where it's like I'm setting these little goals and having the presence and like the consciousness to like activate the moments. It enhances my ability to experience that magic. And also it really comes from love, because I'm just like, I choose love and I choose to love myself inside and out, and part of that is wishing for a beautiful life experience for me and choosing a love that is, you know, the greatest love that I can be, and sharing that and amplifying that and enjoying, intending and receiving the reflections of that more and more in my reality. And of course, yeah, life isn't always sparkles and sunshine. Sometimes it's rain and challenges, and if we can I find if I can find beauty and love even in that, and embrace that it's part of it too, like it's a grand setup. It's just this dance of polarity, yin and yang. And so if I don't see it as like a failure, I see it as a setup for my success, my organic, natural, beautiful, always ultimately benevolent and positive evolution, then I just get to enjoy the ride and celebrate every moment as it comes. But yeah, part of engaging this power of magic and intention and prayer for me is trusting myself and loving my sensitivity. I know for me, as a highly sensitive person, empath extraordinaire, I feel I've definitely met some people who are similar, if not more, sensitive for sure. But it's a very small percentage of people that I meet that I'm like, whoa. And a reframe that's been helping me, a positive reframe of this, is to see it as being magically gifted. Because for me, when I'm sensitive and I can feel emotions, I can feel energy, I can flow with it. So moment to moment, I can feel out, like even when I'm walking down the street and I'm just flowing through my day, I can feel, how would this choice feel? How would that choice feel? This direction or that direction. And then I go with what feels better to me, because I know that that's going to actually create like, like beyond judgment, just it's going to flow energy in that direction. Like it's almost like Finding Nemo, when the turtles are kind of in the flow. It's like you just got to feel it. And then when you're in it, the magic happens. And yeah, sometimes it does involve like letting go of the mind and what I think I should do and choices that are mentally based, but actually step into the feeling and the flow. And it's incredible what happens in those states. Like I remember just yesterday I was telling, for some reason we were talking about music, me and this woman at a cafe, and we were talking about like just music that we love, and I ended up somehow going into this like this story wanted to come out about how like India Ari, how I met India Ari, how I remember walking with a friend in Mexico, and I remember I had said to her like I would really love to meet India Ari someday, because her album Songversation just came out and it was like game-changingly awesome. Like I was just so lit up. I just felt like this like Oprah level of like magic and healing and empowerment and beauty, and the music was just like creme de la creme, so well produced. The lyrics were off the charts, meaningful and deep. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. But I remember in that moment, around that time when that album just came out, and it was like this huge gift to my life. I was like, man, I would love to meet her. Or woman, I would love to meet her, because my friend is a woman, is still a woman. But we all have both, don't we? Anyways, But yeah, so then years later, I was in Bali. I kind of forgot about it. I was in Bali, and I remember I was going through this moment of this phase in my life where I was really living in the magic and just going with the flow. And I was really connecting with the God in all life. And I was doing kind of like I am now, more and more, being present and then having intention, prayer, and then going with the flow of what feels best. And I remember in that moment, I was like having an adventure, and I was capturing the magic in my vlogs, in my daily vlogs that I was putting on YouTube in Bali at that time that were amazing. They were just accelerating, enhancing, and amplifying the magic. It was incredible. But I remember there was one that was particularly awesome, and during that day, I was just like going with the flow of like, how can I be happy? What do I feel? Like, where's my intention? What would I like to do? What would I love to do even? And I was going with the flow. And I remember at one point I was like, okay, what do I want to do next? And I was zooming around Bali on my scooter. And I remember I was like, what would I really love to do right now? And I was like, I would really love raw chocolate. Like, there's a place called Alchemy, and they have these amazing, or they had, hopefully they still have, these amazing heart-shaped raw chocolates that they were just to die for, or to live heaven on earth for, because they were so good. And I remember in that moment I was like, I want chocolate. And so I was like, I'm gonna go, I choose chocolate. I choose love. And so I went in that direction, even though my mind was like, I should probably go home and do some work, or like do my laundry, or like how the mind is a bit more productive sometimes, but my heart, my soul, my inspiration was like, I want to go get some chocolate right now. So I did it, and I zoomed around like blissfully on my scooter through Bali. It was like such a beautiful time in my life. And I don't remember if I was listening to music on my scooter at that time, but I know later, my next trip I did, and it's such bliss listening to music on a motorized bike. Anyways, so I got to Alchemy, and I ordered my little thing. I think I got chocolates at that point, yeah, and then probably a smoothie too. And I sat down. By the way, their smoothies, oh my God, they were so good. Anyways, back to the story. Sat down, and I was just enjoying my life, just blissing out in the moment, loving myself, loving creation. And who walks in but India Ari? I knew in the back of my mind, I knew she was in Bali for Bali Spirit Fest to play there, but I didn't ever think, I mean, maybe I, in the back of my mind thought, or some spiritual part of me thought, but I had no idea that was going to happen. And then she walks in, and I'm like, holy shit. And then I, obviously internally, I was acting cool, as cool as I could, to see like one of my like musical soulmates and greatest inspirations. And anyways, she then walks around, she orders something, and then she comes and she walks around, and where does she sit? At the table, right beside me. Like, oh my God. I was like, holy shit. And it's inside, internally, I was obviously trying to be cool. And then I ended up feeling like, you know what, I can't like miss this opportunity to like just gift her and bless her with something. So I just quietly got up, ordered a couple more of these amazing raw chocolate hearts, and yeah, and then I just like brought them over, or no, the woman brought them over to me, because in Bali they're always like just such amazing service people. They're incredible. It's like such an honor. A little bit of a guilt with the economic and racial divide there. Not a huge fan of that, but I also love the culture, and I'm here to be of service too, and I just appreciate the love flowing through all of it, and wish for healing and balance for all. Anyways, so I ended up giving the raw chocolates to India Ari, and I just ended up saying like, hi, like, don't mean to bother you, but like, I'm a huge fan. I love you, like, I love your music so much. Thank you, and just, I'd love to give you some of my favorite things, and just bless your day. And she's like, oh, thank you. Like, she was so graceful and gracious, and yeah, and then we didn't really talk that much more. I wanted to respect her space and her sensitivity. We did end up like, I ended up hanging out there later. I moved to a different table, and my friend Sophia ended up walking in, and then we were both like, holy shit, India Ari's here, because India Ari too was just hanging out there all day. And then at one point I ended up like playing guitar and like singing, because it was like a beautiful, casual, like chill place, and they had music on anyway, so I was just like sitting with my friend, like playing, just like kind of hoping that I'd get discovered, but whatever, it's okay. I ended up still just like at the end of the day, after like hours of hanging out there, just heaven on earth bliss and joy and excitement, I did end up giving, like, I had a goddess deck of oracle cards, and I had chosen Sarasvati. It was actually the Sarasvati day in Bali, and sorry if my pronunciation isn't good, that's just how I say it. Sarasvati, whatever. But yeah, I ended up like putting my contact information just in case, and just saying like, hey, I love you, like thank you so much. And she was like, thank you for playing your music. And she was probably, I mean, I think for people on that level who are super famous and successful are probably like used to people hoping that they're, I don't know, I think I was just like, I'm not gonna like not do my absolute best to like share my love and inspiration with this person and open up potentially a doorway of possibility. Otherwise I would regret it for the rest of my life. So I did what I did and I walked on. Actually, I remember I like jumped out with joy out of Alchemy with my friend, and then we zoomed off on our scooters. It was super fun, and it was like a peak life moment. But that's the kind of shit, the kind of beautiful, magical results that can happen when we follow our heart and our inspiration, our love. And moments like that help me trust myself, help me trust my feelings, help me trust spirit and grace. And again, magic. And I say that with a capital M because I admit, like, I'm learning so much more and receiving the depths as my soul deepens into this experience of my life. I'm like receiving more from even other lifetimes and finding my own unique magic and my own unique wisdom and flow, and it's so amazing. And I love also like meeting other magical people and sharing our wisdom and inspiring each other, supporting each other, you know, sharing our alchemical gifts and authenticity and love and support. It's truly amazing. And this is the magic that my soul came here for. Really, love is the magic my soul came here for, but this is love. To me, this is loving myself and empowering the love in all life, the God, the greatest love in all life, goddess, great spirit. So, anyways, I love you, sending you all so much grace and power and inspiration, and hopefully a boost of confidence and trust in the love that you are, the love that all of this is, and what is truly possible when we live by that. All right, well, woohoo! Shine on. And if you're inspired to connect with me at some point, feel free to check out my website, coraflora.com, where you can find inspirational music, information about coaching, and my entheogen experience retreats, which I'm really excited about and are blossoming. And also you can find my magical shop, where there's also merch and musical production services, as well as stickers and CDs. Anyways, lots of love. Have a beautiful, magical now, and I wish you all the best. Bye.